All right, good morning. It is the 13th of November. It is Monday, just before 11 o'clock. So today I have been already working through some of those stuff I need to do for some of my clients, typical Monday kind of stuff. Make sure some social media stuff's kind of good to go. Some blog posts for some people that I manage, some of their website stuff is done, some website updates. Last night I did some work after we did our hockey game that we had, which was another loss for the Windsor Spitfires. Where I did some work on my own stuff, just trying to schedule some content for the next 2 months for myself. Because I have enough content that's going to get me through for the next 6 months plus. But I wanted to make sure I map everything out and get it all done for myself at this point. So just kind of scheduling some of that stuff out. Right now, I am trying some different softwares at the same time to try and see about AI chopping up some videos for me. Again, to utilize technology, work smarter, not harder. I think that can be really powerful. Raquel's got some time before school, so she's doing some video stuff upstairs for me as well. Some of my content that we're working through. I'm waiting for a text or a call back because I might be meeting somebody for lunchtime here. It's not that far away, so just waiting to see if that's going to work out or not. I talked to somebody last week and said he was maybe interested in having me do some content work for him, so we could meet today around lunchtime, maybe even shoot some test content, see if we're good fit to work together. If that works out, great. If not, I've got tons of work that I need to do. We are trying to hire for a role right now, an executive assistant position for, one of our customers. So trying to make sure we get that going. I got lots of resumes I got to pour through and ultimately schedule some interviews. So that'll probably be my afternoon is my guess. But yeah, this morning I wanted to focus on the content side because I think that there's a ton of content and ideas and stuff that are out there, long form stuff that I've shot with myself. For myself, I should say, or for clients, that if I can find the right AI software to go back through and chop some of that stuff up, it'll be a game changer for me. So I had paid for one service, and honestly, I already canceled the service because I'm not happy about it, but I paid for a year. So I'm like, I might as well use what I can with it. So I'm trying that right now. And then another service someone told me about that seems interesting, a little bit more money, could be good. So yeah, just trying to power through, be productive, be focused, kick off the week strong. This is the last full week for me, because obviously next week then I'm doing the Vegas trip, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So again, trying to just focus and get shit done. All right, so change of plans. Earlier I had said that I might be going out to meet somebody to talk through content, but I just talked with them and they said they're having a bit of an emergency in their business, so we're going to reschedule that for later in the week. No problem, because that gives me time back. Trying to hire for this role, I decided I'm going to use that time now that I've gained to try and source through all these resumes. So I went through and I looked, I'm like, I have 165 resumes. Let's see what we can find out. So go through 165. I then kind of get myself down to about 20. Now I've taken those 20 that I thought, okay, these are interesting at first pass, first glance. Now I've got myself down to 9. Now I got to take that final 9 down to a mixer of the ones that I want to actually pre-screen and interview. It is amazing when you look at the ratio when you are trying to hire somebody of how many applications you start with to what you ultimately end with to try and find one role. So again, 165 reviewed down to a list of 20 that I thought, okay, these aren't bad on first glance. And by first glance, I mean, I'm spending less than 30 seconds looking at a resume. Some of them I'm looking at 5-10 seconds max because I can skim through these pretty quick. That's how much time you have to ultimately try and make an impact on somebody who's actually trying to hire for, a role or recruit for a role. You got 10 seconds probably to stand out and jump off the page. So 20 people stood up, jumped off the page. I said, yay, let's take a look. Let's dive deeper. Diving deeper, I've whittled it down to 9. I'm hoping in this 9, there's one that ultimately is the right fit. So all day I have been testing software. Well, let's say I've narrowed down to one software. that I've been testing in amongst like looking at this job that I'm trying to fill. And I think I've found something that's going to work quite well for me. I found a way to upload a lot of content, and I'm testing it with the episodes that I've done for Pushing 40 to chop up that to make it easier for micro clips for myself. And then I've started putting some of my clients that I work with, their long form content into it as well to, again, chop up to release. I've decided that from a personal side, and I think I've talked about this before, I'm going to ignore the algorithms on social media intentionally to see what happens and just start to post a lot more frequently. So, for instance, what I'm doing here with the Pushing 40 stuff. At this point, I'm now recording episode 15, so 15 weeks of content that I have. Again, if you're looking half hour to 40, 45 minutes for some of these episodes, that is a lot of micro clips, hopefully, that I can chop up. It's going through and trying to find clips automatically for me that I'll be able to share. So I'm going to start to pump stuff out. It feels like a no-brainer to me. And I think the reason I come on here to say this is that I talk a lot about batch creating content and getting in and trying to shoot, say 200 videos in the course of a day is obviously what I can do. But like most people that I work with, it's like 30, 50 videos. If you take some long form content, you can also get a ton of value from it. So one of my clients, she did a 20-minute webinar. I've put it into this software. I've gone through and I've edited some of the videos. I've been able to get, I think I ended up with 6 different, small little clips from that. I did a webinar myself that was only 30 minutes and I got 10 clips from it. So if you sit there and you look and like, okay, across all this different content that I'm recording here with Pushing 40, maybe I'll have like, let's say at a low, 5 clips per episode. Plus 15, that's 60 different pieces of content that I have. Batch creation is the way to go, but being smart about it is the thing that's most important to remember. So yeah, I think that's it's a good strategy. It's a good plan. So if you find the right software, like right now, I've just been doing the free version, so I'm not even on the paid version yet, and I'm finding out like I'm impressed with what I've seen thus far. So if I got a couple more uploading. Once they upload and they process, and I'll go through and I'll verify if it works out. Spend a few $100s for the course of the year for software that'll gain me hours and hours of time back. It's a no-brainer. Use technology however you can. All right, here we are Monday afternoon. We are at the river near the Ambassador Bridge. What are we doing?
We're just going for a walk. I didn't go this morning because my watch was dead, which is a really sad excuse. So I said to Chris before I went to school, I said, I'll be back about 3 o'clock. Let's go for a walk if you don't have too much work. And you agreed. So
I agreed.
Good.
I've been having a day where nothing with the internet keeps going out on me, which is irritating. So let's just screw it. Let's just go for a walk. Let's get the steps in. Let's ultimately, try to get ourselves in shape. Get ready for Mexico.
Yes.
Maybe that's the incentive to push right now. So, all right, let's go do that. All right, good morning. It's the 14th of November. Here I am, 5 minutes to go before a one-on-one that I'm having with somebody. So today's Tuesday, which means it's coaching day. And so instead of going in person with somebody, we're actually doing it remotely, which is great because we're going to talk about a presentation that she's going to be doing next week. And I figured we could use the power of AI, and it's so much easier for me to do this with multiple screens. So doing it remotely is honestly preferred way to go. I prefer actually all my coaching if it was done remotely instead of in person. But some people like the in-person kind of conversation and stuff. So excited to do that, but I was sitting there making a list today of all the things that I need to do. And it's a bigger list than I like, to be honest. But we'll get it done. I think that everything that I've put on here is achievable in working through with some of the coaching and stuff that I have to do. The hardest part, I think right now, that I'm most concerned about is the lack of time. Because time is running out quickly. Because, I've got next week, Thursday, Friday, traveling, going to Vegas, trying to hire for a role right now. But because of commitments that I have, it is tricky to fit in interviews for this particular role. Like I said yesterday, I've narrowed down the pool of people, and normally what I do is I send them an email and say, hey, schedule, a link based on my availability using my Calendly link. The problem I have is that my Calendly link shows no availability because, well, today I'm in meetings and stuff with coaching, and I've got commitments there, trying to, support that family of companies that I do this work with. And then tomorrow I'm recording content. And then Thursday I've got a podcast that I'm recording, and then I'm supposed to meet that prospect yesterday that, wasn't able to make it work. So I'm really left with not a lot of time left. And because then this weekend is tricky, because then on Friday I'm heading up to Kitchener-Waterloo area, gonna record some more content up there, and then do a bit of a family Christmas on Saturday, and then I head back. So my week is shot. Can't really pack much more in, which is unfortunate. So trying to figure out again, how do I gain more time back? Like, yes, Raquel's helped me. She's doing some stuff right now as we speak upstairs. But I'm still maybe just too pulled in and too busy right now with a lot of stuff. So it's like either this is just maybe a rough couple of weeks, which I anticipated it was going to be, or I need to find another longer term solution, because I've come to see that I am the bottleneck in my business and able to get stuff done because I only have so much time because I'm spread thin everywhere. Like, give you an example. Like, so while I'm doing this remote coaching session here now in 3 minutes, as we look at the clock, I have supposed to be doing another remote one at 1 o'clock, but that person's said that they're going to, want to do on site. And it's like, well, I probably should be firmer and say that, well, no, we've already committed to virtual. I planned my day around virtual, but I'm going to stop, drive in. So I now lose time traveling to and back. So that sucks. So I have to figure out a method that's going to make sense and again, give me time back. All right, better go. Get ready here. All right, so here we are. We are heading in now to do in-person coaching. My coaching session this morning was really, really good that I had at 11 a.m. Remote is way more effective for coaching than in-person. We were on time. It was efficient. We got a lot accomplished, a lot talked about. I feel like there's an opportunity to sit there and look at all coaching that I do. If I could turn it somehow into remote, I think it'd be way more effective. The challenge is that I have clients who prefer the in-person side of things. I don't think they realize how much easier things are remotely. Remote is the way to go with anything that you do, I think. A lot of businesses don't need to have an in-person component. They could have most of their staff work remotely and they could actually get the same, if not more, work done. It was interesting, even the person that I was coaching this morning, she had said that she had spent the yesterday working remotely and she was able to get a lot of stuff accomplished because she didn't have the distractions of being on site and in her office. Again, I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times, and I'll keep saying it. Remote is the way to go for many businesses. Everything can be done with just a laptop, cell phone. You don't even need a cell phone. You just really need a laptop. Now, I think if you are working from home, part of the reason why I love it so much is that I've got 3 monitors at home, which then, even if I wanted to plug in, say, my TV that's sitting beside my monitors, I could have 4. I could plug in a laptop and I could have a 5th monitor. Like, screen real estate makes a world of difference sometimes, I think, when you're trying to do anything. So, yeah, I'm going to go in for this hour, going to go coach. I could theoretically sit there if I wanted to and try and see if I could do some work from there. But to me, the list of things that I need to do, I might as well come home and do it. So the thing that sucks also about in-person, especially for me, is I'm losing time when it comes to driving across the city. So good thing about living here in Windsor, Ontario, is that you can be anywhere within 15, 20 minutes or so. That's roughly how long it seems to take me to get from my house to where I need to be. But you go look at the time to and from, it's a half hour of time that I've lost. Now, later on tonight, we're going to be going and doing a networking event across town as well. So I'm hoping that that turns into some business. But the challenge with networking is like you never know what happens. Is it going to be a worthwhile activity or not? Are you going to find that you're meeting the right people? I learned that there's a bunch of events that are happening tonight. There's one that I really wish that I would have signed up for when I first saw it. I didn't, and then they ran out of space. So tonight I'm going to one that I've gone to before. Um, and I hope again it turns into something worthwhile. Raquel's going to join me as well, so the All In Content family team is going to be in action tonight. So hopefully, again, that turns into something. All right, I'm going to go listen to some tunes as I continue to drive in to do this in-person coaching session that I have. All right, here we are. It is Wednesday, the 15th of November. We're halfway through the month. Last night, Raquel and I went to a networking event, meet and greet some people. I think the hard part with going to the event we did last night is that you're seeing some of the same people. So then when you do see people that you know, you kind of get trapped in conversation. With the venue that this event has been at, it's been at a few times now. It's actually hard to go and meet people when you kind of walk in, it's a little bit tight. So, you go and you're seeing people that you know and you start talking to them, but then obviously you're missing out on having conversations with new people. So while I met a couple new people, it's not as many as I kind of thought and kind of maybe hoped. So I think it's also about probably when you go to these networking events, like spreading yourself around to not meet, again, people you already know, but to also go to other networking events that are happening so it's not the same crowd that happens. I think that's a lesson that I learned last night. So today we've got recording that I'm going to be going and doing at 11 o'clock. So it's just before 9 o'clock here now. Just kind of getting my breakfast and everything going. And then I will make sure I'm pumping out any videos that I need to pump out today. And then head on in and go and record content. And then probably do that for a few hours and then come back. And I got lots of stuff that I need to do. I really felt that yesterday, even though I made a really good list of things I need to do, it kind of went to hell as I guess expected in a way. Like I went through and I did my coaching calls, but then my second coaching call of the day, which was in person, went much longer than I wanted it to, and therefore I lost hours in the day. By the time I get back and try and get ready for the event, it's time to go. So keeping to a schedule is critical and important, and this is where I don't really enjoy doing in person because in-person coaching always tends to go long. So I have to find a way to keep everybody accountable to the time frame that we're at. All right, let's get to it. Let's have some breakfast, have hopefully a productive day, and just get a lot of shit done. All right, so it's been a while since I feel like I've done a walk and talk video. Here we are, Thursday, 16th, around 8 a.m. Biggest challenge I'm finding as I try and do walk and talks like this is that I tried recording a little bit earlier. The two guys are screaming at each other, trying to get ready for their day to head out for doing whatever their contracting business was. So started recording, stop, start. Then I'm recording, and I don't know if people are just being intentionally idiots today, but they drive past and they start honking horns or just being really loud driving. So fucking annoyed a little bit with some of that. Anyways, regardless, let's record this video. Hopefully this is the one that'll be able to include that it actually works in terms of footage. So today I might be meeting with somebody in person to go and see if there's a fit for us to batch record content. I gave him a text last night to say, hey, I've got a window here of a little bit, a couple hours, because then I'm batch recording content all afternoon, doing back to back, so 3 episodes in a row of rapid fire insights. So limited time. Tonight we got a hockey game. Tomorrow I'm heading to Kitchener. I'm going to be shooting content for a little bit, meeting with somebody else, having dinner with my mom. Next day, seeing family, Christmas, that kind of thing. Christmas a little bit early, and then heading back for again hockey game on Saturday. So my time is very limited for the next few days. Sunday I'll probably have to do a bunch of work. Then Monday I've got 3 or 4 interviews for this role I'm trying to hire for. Tuesday's all day coaching and other related stuff for a series of clients that we work with. Wednesday, more work, more interviews. Thursday, Vegas. So I'm like, man, my time is very limited. So I only was able to give a small window to this fella in terms of, can I meet with him? No, I'll be able to fit in like batch recording content and stuff if he decides to move forward. But yeah, very limited. Just for this next week in a bit, for sure. I think about it today, 7 days from now, I fly out to Vegas. I'm very excited about it, but Raquel pointed something out to me earlier. So here in Windsor, we have the Caesars, Windsor, and they're putting on a poker tournament the same weekend that I'm gone. It's basically going to be the same probably amount of money that I'll end up spending while I'm in Vegas. So a little irritated that maybe they did a terrible promotional job of it. Had I known there was this tournament here, I probably wouldn't fly down to Vegas. Because I could probably just, again, be here, do the tournament, pay the same amount of money, with less money actually. So, anyways, gonna go, excited to go, but still a little bit annoyed from that perspective that there's a tournament happening here that would be perfect for me to play in. I'm also just looking forward to getting away though, so there is a benefit for sure of doing it. Alright, probably should have brought my selfie stick because my arm is sore holding this. So I will end this and go enjoy the rest of my walk. Alright, so I'm in between podcast episodes that I'm trying to record here for Rapid Fire Insights. I just kind of switch, put on a different shirt, switch to the next one, switch on a different shirt. But I'm a little distracted and a little fired up, I'm not going to lie. Windsor Spitfires just announced that they traded their star forward and probably their most, I'd say, offensive defenseman. He's not really, I'd say, strong defensively, but he brings in points. It's clear that they're giving up on the team. I am debating of putting out a comment and saying, the GM should have been fired, the coach should have been fired way before you start trading off everybody. I'm frustrated and angry, and I care a lot about hockey. I love hockey in general, and I go to games. We're season ticket holders here with the Windsor Spitfires, but I'm going to put it here on this. I'm very annoyed and upset that Alex Christopoulos in particular, the best player on the team, is traded to another group when the GM has the nerve to say that it wasn't them giving up for the season, when it clearly is. It clearly means that you are giving up for the season. So I'm just agitated. Frustrated. I said to my wife, I called her, and she's heading to school right now, and I said, Raquel, is there a way we can get a refund on our season tickets? Because it's going to be a painful year. What a waste of fucking time and money going to a team that's clearly given up. They're last place in the OHL. It's been brutal so far this season. And last year they were first in the West Division, and now they've completely fallen off the rails. So I'm just fired up. All right, better get ready for this next one. All right, here we are. It is Friday, 17th. I have been driving for 3.5 hours, and I have just arrived here in Kitchener-Waterloo region. Going to be meeting with Lloyd and his team here at lunchtime, recording some video content with them. Then go meet with somebody else this afternoon here in town, and go meet my mom, and then a bit of a family Christmas tomorrow. Man, I look tired as I look at myself here. I absolutely hate driving. Hate driving with a passion. A lot of people love it. I hate it. So I'm exhausted. I really struggled driving here today. Just, I don't know. It was wet and rainy and gray. And I don't know. Just hated it. So, yeah, I'm glad I'm here. I wish that teleportation existed. It would make life so much easier to get around. Right now, what I'm trying to do is set up all my camera stuff. So I'm just recording this video on my, cell phone. But I got to get everything ready to go. I'm thinking I'm gonna just use camera, little mini handheld tripod today. I think that might be the easiest way to record content. But yes, I am exhausted. Alright, well, I better get ready for it because I think they'll show up here soon. Alright, so here we are, Friday night, the 17th. I've spent the day Doing obviously a little bit of content, a little bit of coaching. I've now landed here at my mom's house. Going to have dinner with them, connect, and just again just have some family time here on this Friday night. Before more family time tomorrow, and then back home before you know it. So a nice little quick trip. All right, so here we are. I'm just gonna force my mom to be on camera again. Did this a number of months back. So it's dinner time. We got something planned here for dinner.
Yes, we do. We're having chicken and rice and carrots, and I've made your favorite traveling cake.
Nice and healthy traveling cake.
You're only allowed one piece.
I don't think you can ever tell me what to do, ever. So yeah, excited to kind of be here and be in Waterloo and spend the evening together. I think that'll be good. It's been a couple of months since I've been back, I think. Right?
Yeah, and you definitely need a haircut.
Yeah, I need a haircut. Normally I would just go get my hair done because I've had episodes where I've talked about that, but I have not had time. So mom's graciously, maybe we'll get that on camera.
Oh boy.
Me getting my hair cut by mom like I did when I was a kid. All right, so here we are again at mom's house, and I'd like to introduce you to Zane.
Hello,
Zane, introduce yourself to the camera.
I am Zain Lalani, happily and lovingly married to Christopher's mom, Sherry Lynn. We have been together for over 20 years, and it feels like love all over again.
So it's interesting with Zane. When he first came around into the picture, he worked remotely. And my brothers and I could never understand the idea of working remotely. I remember Nicholas Thomas and I all saying, like, I don't think this guy actually works. Like, there's no such thing as actually, like, working remotely. But now, obviously, I work remotely. You've been doing it for a long time. It's something that you're used to. But, like, I think a lot of people still to this day don't fully understand that you can get a lot of stuff done remotely from anywhere, right?
Absolutely. The concept of remote work really is working with people who actually do work on site. In my case, I've been in IT for over 40 years, 43, 44 years to be exact. And as I'm sure you would agree, IT work is, there's computers in a building, there's software, there's VPN, virtual private networks, there's connections. But in my 43 years, I have gone from carrying a toolkit in a trunk of a car to going on site to actually fixing systems to then working remotely, software, logging onto computers from my laptop or back in the day, my home PC. But as technology has evolved, so has communications. And now we can be anywhere as long as we are connected to Apple Watch or phone or computer, and we have internet. We can log on to pretty much any systems in the world to do what we need to do, or talk with clients via Zoom or WebEx or Teams or what have you.
It is amazing how much technology has changed to allow that for people, right?
Yeah.
And just like what you've seen over your 40 years within your career from technology, how much it's changed and just adjusted, but it's made life easier too.
Absolutely. I mean, there's still people. I mean, I still work with people. I worked with a client based in Buffalo, New York yesterday, and I was remote. I was on a Zoom session. I had some software specialist support engineers working remotely who had dialed in from San Jose, California. But on the other hand, we had a FE, a field engineer that we had dispatched local to Buffalo. We had shipped parts. He replaced the parts. The engineer from San Jose, California did all the reconfiguration to make sure that the new parts were configured into the system. And me being an escalation manager for this particular escalation was overseeing and making sure that we had everything we needed. And if I needed to get more resources, that I'd do that. So it's more like a symphony orchestra, whatever, waving sticks, but I'm on my laptop and Zoom just trying to do the same thing and make sure people are doing what they need to do.
I find it like so weird in my world where I'm like, coaching, consulting with people. Sometimes really like, no, they only want to do face-to-face versus, jumping on a Zoom call. Because to me, I'm like, it's really inefficient to sit there and just be in person. It costs you more time, more energy, more money. If you could just do Zoom, it's easy.
The response is, back to the day when I used to throw parts and tools or whatever in my trunk and go from Waterloo to Toronto. I get stuck in traffic 3-4 hours. Now, within minutes, I'm connected to them. My system's connected to their system, and we're already doing the work.
Well, and I know because you're working from home and I see emails popping up, I will let you go and get back to it.
Awesome. Pleasure.
Okay, where are we going to cut this hair?
You've been getting your hair cut on this chair since you were 1 year old.
So that chair is at least 39 years old.
I have recovered it, but it's the same physical chair.
All right, so here we are. I'm going to get my hair cut by my mom. Growing up as a kid, mom used to cut my hair all the time. Grade 9, I had some girls say, you should get my hair cut by somebody else, make it look a certain way. I basically kept the same style for I don't know how many years it's been since grade 9. So then eventually over time, I would just keep getting it done professionally, but the odd time, mom would do it. I'm in a pinch. Mom's helping me out here today. Mom, you love cutting hair, don't you?
I love cutting your hair. I've been cutting your hair since you were 1 year old, and then you took a break from me. But I promise I won't mess it up.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
Oops.
But yeah, looking forward to, again, getting the hair cut. I wish that I had time to just gone and done it professionally, but mom said she could do it. I'm like, great, let's do it.
I'm quite capable of cutting your hair.
All right, let's go then. Let's do it. And here's the finished product. Looks pretty good. I think I owe her about $50. Good job.
Okay.
Good job, Mom.
Sounds good.
Good job.